Hi, I'm Carol Wilson, Editor-at-Large for Light Reading, and I'm here with Daniel Bar-Lev, a Director in the Office of the CTO of MEF. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Carol.
So one of the more exciting things here at MEF18 has been a pretty extensive array of proofs of concept. And the demonstrations themselves are very impressive and interesting, but I understand that's really only sort of scratching the surface of what these PoCs are actually accomplishing and some of the different processes you're using. Tell me about that.
So as part of an overall strategy that we have at MEF is to increase the ability of our members to collaborate in a practical way on real live networks, real assets, and to use that to feed back information into the standards work. So they go hand in hand with this feedback mechanism. So the proof of concepts are essentially an opportunity to showcase work that's going on throughout the year.
Okay.
So two of the proofs of concept are actually based on what we call MEF 3.0 implementation projects.
Okay.
And one of them is about spanning 4 operators across the world. We've got network running from New Jersey, live network through Europe down to South Africa. So that's one example.
Okay.
So that's part of our strategy to do that. It's not just a one-off thing.
And as I understand it, then the work or some of the learnings from the proofs of concept are then fed into a faster specification process. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So there are a number of areas that we're working. You see the proofs of concept in. One is automated commercial interaction, blockchain. Another one is fulfillment and activation. Another area is SD-WAN. Another use CPE and service assurance. So what we're seeing is that there's more and more use of the LSO APIs in these proofs of concept. So that knowledge, that understanding has gone back into the standardization work. So we announced the LSO Sonata APIs this week, and also the SD-WAN service definition. And the proofs of concept have been very much a part of that learning process. And the same people that are working on the proofs of concept are also working in the standards.
I noticed because there was a proof of concept last year here, or not here, but in Orlando, for the Sonata that involved, I think, AT&T, Colt, and Orange, and that work actually went into how you could get the Sonata API a techno spec done so quickly, right? That's
right. So it was actually those same players that drove the work that actually culminated in the announcement this week on the LSO Sonata APIs.
Okay.
But you've seen other groups, other collaborative teams work and build on that, and for example, integrating ONAP. The latest release of ONAP together with non-ONAP orchestration.
Okay.
So extending LSO Interlude. So yes, building on what was done, and the idea is as we go forward each year we'll be able to build more and more, fill in more and more of these holes and extend the use cases.
So I understand there's a PoC here now that Spectrum Enterprise and TELUS are doing around the Interlude. It's showing some dynamic services and across multiple carrier networks, which would seem to be another area of significance.
Exactly. So you're seeing proofs of concept that might focus more on Interlude, others more on Sonata. We've got the multi-layer one, which is about LSO Presto, where you've got CenturyLink and TELUS and Telefonica are showing the sort of the north-south that they can integrate any technology domain without changing the service orchestration. So yes, definitely more focus on some APIs than others.
So this kind of real-world experience, how does it help you speed up? Because I understand you're trying to push much faster with these specifications.
So during the process, we have a feedback mechanism at the face-to-face meetings of MEF. Where we have a reporting mechanism for the implementation projects where they come back and say, this is what we learned, and to influence the standards work there. But it's also, again, it's the same people that are working in the implementation projects are also involved in the standards. So you have that very, very direct, intimate conversation going on the basis of what they're doing on both sides of the fence, so to speak. Okay,
and obviously it's in the service provider's best interest to get this process moving quickly, because then they can take things to market faster.
Yes, and they can. It's another way of interacting with their vendors. So if you think about it, if a service provider wants to move something forward, if they were to do it just in their own lab and invite the vendors in a private way and say, look, we want to try this and make this happen and whatever, it doesn't compare to if you can create an environment with many vendors and your peer service providers, a much more complex environment outside of your lab and learn the lessons together, things are going to go much, much faster.
Okay, great. Daniel, thanks for being here with me today.
Thank you, Carol.